I think it would be lovely if you would, introduce yourself as casually or as formally as you prefer, and then sort of add your roles, your contributions to Global Village.
Hello, my name is Kysha Hehn, and I have the pleasure of being a Global Village teacher, a role that I often find myself more of a guide than actually teaching so much. And that distinction, I think, makes the job feel so much more authentic because it moves me from this place of feeling didactic in a way to comfortably holding people as they're moving through their process of homeschooling.
Mm. Mm. Well, you led right into what you most love about working with Global Village School.
Oh my goodness. The first word that comes to mind when asked what I love most about Global Village is the authenticity that I get to live with each and every conversation that I have with families that I get paired with. I love the opportunity to see the family center the child right in front of me and to be able to pull from what they're sharing to create a curriculum around their interests and love that genuinely reflects the child.
And what inspires you about our students?
Oh my goodness. It's a great question. And I think when thinking about what inspires me the most is the the gentle audacity that I think a lot of my students bring to their experience at GVS without it necessarily being anything other than just them being fully present as themselves. But they step into this place where they establish a boundary for what they want to learn and often how they want to learn it. And I have the opportunity to be inspired by their resilience to continue moving through subject matter and content in a way that feels right for each student. And that's really inspiring to me because so often we're pulled into someone else's expectations or motivated externally by someone else's prompting without giving ourselves the proper opportunity to really look within to say, what is my intrinsic motivation for learning um, and expressing what I've learned?
Can you think of any specific students, not that you would name anyone, but either a specific student or family or opportunity that was especially moving or inspiring for you?
Ooh, to narrow it down to one is my dilemma at the moment, but I believe if I had to think of a couple experiences that particularly come to mind. Let's see. Oh goodness, there was a family that just found that they had to move beyond their physical location as well as the approach that they were taking towards school. And they packed the family up and put them on the road towards a journey that captured in real time the subject matter that they were studying. And one of the children was particularly interested in cartography. And along their travels, the child constructed a collection of maps that they had drawn, um, both fictional and non-fictional, and created a book to go along with their travels.
When those kinds of situations occur, you're just like, yay!
It was phenomenal. I almost forgot the question because I got so caught up in that child's experience.
Well, that is an excellent example of something that's so energizing about working with Global Village School. Any others?
Will you repeat that question again, just so I can make sure
Yeah. Um, well, the situation you just described, actually, situation, more importantly, the family and the children you just described, I would imagine that's very energizing. But what I'm wondering is, are there other aspects of working with Global Village School that also energize you professionally, personally?
It, I suppose if I were to think about, oh goodness, I don't want to be bland and say everything, but I can. I just, I'm like, when I talk about my work, everyone that I know is just in awe of the opportunities that we get to make these dynamic connections with people just where they are, um, invested so fully in what they're doing to support their children and their learning. It becomes almost day in and day out. And I know you can't maintain consistent like sense of being energized, but I genuinely feel so passionate about what we get to do that I wake up, I look at my calendar, and if I'm, scheduled for 2 or 3 calls, I just know that that's going to be a like continuous hum of anticipation from one call to the next call. And I'm so delighted and curious to know, ooh, what's going to make this one as unique as the previous one, because every connection that we get to make is so deeply connected to each and every family that we have. No two calls are the same. So there's this constant kind of excitement about who do I get to bring as myself into this conversation? What's something new that I'm going to learn and take away from this call, only to take it into kind of my little study to determine how best to support the family. What resources can I find to say, oh, okay, so last week we were really excited about sea turtles, and now we've moved into seasonal studies. So where does that connection lie for that child? How can we move that from, this isolated understanding of sea turtles to it is the season when the sea turtles come up on the beach and they're laying their eggs, and how do you track them? And being able to move through the year in the cyclical way is just a consistent hum of excitement and joy.
You are so articulate. So, wow, I guess these questions kind of lead one to the other. They might be a bit overlapping, but I'm also wondering what makes Global Village a compelling force in your life?
Will you offer an additional word to compelling?
Yeah. Um, well, when I was just listening to you describe, the day of getting to work with students, one of the things that crossed my mind was it's like, oh goody, there's a reason, there are many reasons always to get out of bed in the morning. But I know, like you, I kind of go through my mind of my calendar with students that day, and it's like, oh goody. So I guess maybe instead of compelling, um, what is it about Global Village School, which could include certainly students and family, but your colleagues, maybe it's the curricula, maybe it's that from the curricula you get to personalize things or work with families to personalize educational opportunities for students. What aspects of you come alive in getting to work with Global Village School?
I believe the dynamic of being able to work one-on-one and to personalize curriculum is the most compelling piece of being a Global Village teacher for me. I really enjoy the opportunity to move along with a family with their journey, and to be trusted with their most precious person in their world, right? Their child, and to be able to see the vulnerability that people bring to this process and to hold them delicately as they find out more deeply who they are, in addition to finding out more deeply who their child is. And I really enjoy that genuine relationship that I get to build with families.
Anything else you would like to add?
I have the best colleagues in the world. It's so true. I know often when I get on the phone call with another teacher or staff member, we all have a very similar vision and purpose for teaching at Global Village. We realize that we are holding the container for a school like Global Village to exist in the world. When I hear back from families about a particular class or a particular course, and I'm like, ooh, I know who wrote that. That particular curriculum or that class. Or, I remember speaking with someone as they were trying to develop aspects of a course, and to know that it's real people who have real concerns about the world, and that comes through in how we're choosing to craft courses and to construct curriculum, and to allow it to be a living opportunity for everyone in our community to learn and to thrive and to create avenues towards change, towards what we really want to see in the world. And that to me is just fascinating and dynamic. And I'm really grateful to be a part of it.